Hey everyone, and welcome back to Semi Stories. Today we got a crazy story from r/ChoosingBeggars, where OP's cheap roommate calls her out for being a massive cow for eating her own food. I've been living with my roommate for a couple of months, and it has been going swimmingly. I am okay sharing my food with my roommate, but I don't touch the food she buys because I have a binge eating disorder, and I honestly prefer to never touch her food. It's just my personal preference to not open that door to allow myself to eat it during a heavy binge, and I draw a hard line there. Recently, I bought some avocados and some tortilla chips. So during a binge, I ended up eating all my avocados and chips. My roommate wanted to take an avocado to work. She is an essential worker, so she hates the food they serve in her restaurant. She didn't ask me or anything since we have the unspoken agreement she can help herself to my food. She wanted to take some of the chips too. Today in the morning she was packing her lunch for work and she realized there were no avocados or chips left, so she woke me up mad that I had eaten them all. Now she doesn't have anything to take to work and that I am a massive effing cow for eating everything. I am so selfish, etc. I'm super sensitive about my weight, because even if I'm at a healthy weight, I bust my ass out exercising to counteract the horrible binges. I'm going to therapy to improve my relationship with food, though I still get bad impulsive binges. I wanted to cry right then and there due to her comment, but I took none of her BS and started screaming at her saying that I am never letting her touch my food again if she's going to act so entitled to the stuff I pay for. That never, in 5 months I've been living here, have I eaten her food that she bought without her offering it me first, and that she can eat crap for all I care. She got teary and said that she can't afford similar foods that I can and how much she hates the unhealthy food her work offers, so she wanted to take a nice burrito bowl and that now she has a cheesy bean salad. By the way, she did this mostly with my food. The only thing she bought was the cheese. She also pointed out that I was a spoiled a-hole who doesn't need to go out and expose themselves to the virus and still get paid loads. I'm a junior accountant in a big company, and I do get better paid than her. She left, and I got a text later from a mutual friend saying that the roommate is struggling with money and that I shouldn't have eaten all the food, especially when it's so much, and that I should think about my health. Now my roommate expects an apology from me for eating everything, forcing her to eat the food at work, which she gets for free, and for yelling at her. I want to be vindictive and eat a bowl of her cereal and throw the rest in the trash, but I'm not about that life. Imagine being so self-centered that you feel entitled to the stuff others bought. It's a tale as old as time, like the one time I shared my Steam library with an online friend, only for them to lose their mind when I logged in to play a game while he was as well. I drew the line then and there and unshared the library, and I believe OP should have done the same long ago. The roommate clearly forgot that OP was doing this out of the kindness of her heart, and that she should have been more respectful. Just because you earn less money doesn't mean others should have to pay for your lifestyle. That is, sadly, just life. Now, OP originally told his story on r/Am I the A-hole, and was deemed not the a-hole. But people were speculating that OP's roommate might have told a vastly different story to her friends, so they would stay sided with her. Naturally, OP decided to investigate. After receiving plenty of comments from a lot of people in the original post on Am I the A-hole, that my roommate may have told our mutual friend a completely different story from the truth, I decided to ask her what was said, to be able to defend myself and to be sure my side and the truth was heard. She told me that my roommate told her that the food was bought by the both of us, that I had promised her the avocado and chips for her lunch today, and that she just came to calmly ask me if I had seen them, and that I confessed to her that I had eaten them all to spite her. Then I yelled at her to eat crap, which I did tell her, and that I mocked her for being poor. After telling my side of the events, she realized my roommate's tell of events had a lot of holes and mine made more sense. I explained to her that she called me names and woke me up to yell at me, and that the only food that she owned in the burrito bowl she was taking to work was the cheese. She apologized profusely and texted my roommate telling her how disgusted she was with her actions. Even though I was originally planning on letting her apologize and allowing her to continue to let her have my stuff again, Reddit knocked some sense into my doormat self and told me to revoke her access to my food. I was planning on having a conversation when she would get back from work with her about clear boundaries that will be set in place from now on, and how her food will go in the mini fridge that came with the apartment, while the fridge I'm borrowing from my abuelita is going to be locked in the pantry with my food. She decided to go spend the night at her boyfriend's place, since I'm hostile and put mutual friends against her. Her boyfriend has also texted me and knows that the food is 100% mine, so he is on my side. I decided to talk to the guys in the legal department at work to know what I can do to protect myself in the worst case scenario that I must evict her. After reading the post and updates, my roommate sent me 30 plus texts asking for forgiveness, saying she doesn't want to be evicted, which, like I said, is my worst case scenario, and that we should talk. Good of OP to investigate the situation and get more people on her side. I'm really surprised the roommate changed her stance so quickly. I figured that OP would have a hard time, but it seems to be resolving itself. Her boyfriend had a word with her, no doubt. If you guys enjoyed the video so far, maybe you guys can do some investigating of the subscribe button down below. I saw it glow the last time I clicked on it, and that seems kinda strange. I think you guys should check that out and get back to me. OP updated the next day. It's a day later, and she's still to return, and now she has reverted her stance, texting me angrily saying I'm ruining her relationship, have Reddit against her, poisoned her friendship with mutual friends, and that she feels like I'm trying to forcibly lead her to starvation and homelessness, when in fact, yesterday I spent some of my night making a nice budgeting plan so she would stop bleeding money, so she can actually buy decent groceries and even start thinking about saving in the near future. This is the first time something like this has ever happened, and after crying my eyes out multiple times yesterday and part of the day, I'm at a complete loss. I thought me and my roommate were good friends. By the way, I'm sorry for the long post. Also, by the way, eat crap, M. I know you're also reading this one, you salty bee. Her boyfriend texted me saying he tried talking to her, but she demanded he be on her side, and when he wasn't, she stormed to her parents' house. Her mom is crazy. Pray for me. So, her mother just called me, yelling how she will sue me for slandering her daughter online, so any drop of civility I had towards my roommate are now out of the window. I'm getting her much more calmer sister to pick up her stuff, because I no longer feel comfortable having her coming inside of my home. I will be returning her rent for this month. I have talked with the legal team and I am allowed to do this after the most recent events. I also talked with the police department in my area, and also what I was told by the guys of the legal department is that I cannot be sued for illegal eviction. I will give you a proper update once this is done. I have no idea what the F is going on. She is getting her wish of having free food and, hell, even getting free accommodation. I'm shocked it has come to this. Hi ma'am, there are no identifying factors of your precious crotch goblin in these posts. I believe this was clearly targeted at the mother. Hopefully the final update. After considering it, I think I am acting vindictively and without thinking properly. I'm going to talk to her like an adult and hope to reach a resolution. I've been seeing red since yesterday and I haven't been acting like I should, as I've been out for blood instead of acting like an adult. I will call her tomorrow morning. This situation has honestly caused a lot of hurt, and I am ready for it to be over, without completely turning myself into a monster. Her mother yelling at me was bad, but not the worst case scenario bad, so I should be the bigger person and not go forward with the eviction. I will find a way to end this roommate situation in a way that will benefit both, and not put M in a worse situation. I will step down from Reddit and I will update you in a post on this sub once something actually happens. Thank you all so much for the support. Sadly, OP never updated it, but it is clear that the situation won't resolve easily. I do hope she cut this toxic leech out of her life. Being the better person does not mean you should have to accept everyone for being a-holes. In our next story, Opie has a colleague who begs for some food but gets upset when the portion is too small. I used to work as a server at Olive Garden when I was in college a few years back. There was this guy, Jay, who worked as a busser during the time who latched onto me as a friend, mainly because I was nice to him and all the other servers just ignored him. He was kind of a weird guy, smelled like he didn't wear deodorant, and had a strong political opinion. But I would ask him how his day was going and listen to him when he talked to me, mostly because I was raised to be nice and inclusive. There was one day I didn't have class, and my manager asked me if I could cover for someone who had to leave due to an emergency. So, since I was broke, I figured I could use the extra bucks. I came in around 1 p.m., and as soon as I walked in the door, Jay came up to me and without even a "hey man" or "hello," he just says, "Will you buy me lunch today?" I was a little frustrated that he asked me without even greeting me, and I asked him why he couldn't get it himself. He started saying how he gets only paid every 2 weeks and he's short on money, but since I'm a server and get tips, he'd know I'd have the cash for making change and stuff. It's rude, but whatever. We did get an employee discount on food, so it wouldn't be too expensive. I asked him what he wanted, and he said a chicken Alfredo. I don't know if y'all know, but Olive Garden is expensive. So even with my discount, that was gonna be like $13. I tell him, fine, but don't expect me to do this all the time, and he runs off into the kitchen all excited, without even thanking me. Like, dude, what? It was lunch, and we were running a soup and half pasta meal, so I figured I'd ring that in as an employee meal so I could eat the soup at least. Olive Garden soup is the best. I send in the meal and start doing my normal shift work. But it was a slower afternoon, so it wasn't crazy busy. 10 minutes later, he walks up to me and says, "Hey man, they made a small portion. Can you ask them to make it a full size or send in another so I can get two?" I was pissed. I told him, "Nah man, I got your lunch. I'm broke too, so you can take it or leave it," and went back to my tables. He came up to me later and was talking in a joking manner about how he saw that small plate of pasta and was like, "Nah, I'll just leave it." Throughout my shift, as I went to pull food from the window for my tables, I saw that chicken Alfredo sit for the whole shift. I still get mad thinking about it. Who does something like that? If you are truly hungry for lunch, then you wouldn't be picky with what you get, right? I know OP said that this guy was acting weird, but what must go on in a brain like that? I think I should start studying everything to do with psychology, because that is quite frankly mind-boggling and actually a bit interesting. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a comment with your opinions or even a food-related story, and I'll be back in the next one. See ya!